So we'll see you at 3. Earlier, if Ambrose is researching...
I'm so tired of this Sony eARC issue. It just... can't believe this. The sound is just unbearable. Why I can't use my internal apps? It's been going on close to a year. Why can't they fix this?
Tannhauser site. Just say...
Let me see if they have a firmware update. I'm just tired of this. I'm just going back close to a year and just like they still haven't fixed this eARC issue. Wait a minute. Sony have a new firmware update? A potential fix for their Sony eARC? What's going on YouTube? This is Max coming back at you once again with another video. This time I'm doing a video on the latest firmware update from Sony to potentially fix the Sony eARC issue. But before I go ahead and talk about that a little bit more, if you guys could do me a favor by hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button, and set on the notifications for any future videos that's coming up. But before I go ahead and take a deep dive into the video, I just want to let you know that I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel. I'm over 170 subscribers. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. I'm trying to hit a goal now of 200 subscribers. I just really appreciate you guys. Thanks again. But all right, now since we got all that out the way, let's go ahead and take a deep dive into the actual video itself. I'm about to go ahead and switch this up into another picture mode. This to show you guys how to download the latest firmware update, what it actually fixed, and I'm going to show you a demo of what my latest firmware update and showing you what it resolved. So all right, let's go. I forgot to mention one thing. This is my future self talking to my past self. So with the firmware update, just to let you guys know, this is only applied for people who are using AV receiver soundbars. So if you just use this for the TV by itself, you're not going to have any issues with the eARC. However, if you do have an AV receiver like the Denon or Yamaha Pioneer and so forth, where you're using a soundbar to connect it using eARC through HDMI cord, you will have an issue, but the firmware does resolve that issue. So, all right, let's get back to the video. Okay guys, so I went ahead and switched it up to the Sony's website. So just to give you a little bit of background, if you guys haven't seen my previous video that I did earlier this year, it's been actually almost close to a year, but just to give you a background of it, so Sony came out with a firmware update earlier in I think it was around January 2019. They just upgraded their Android device. I think it was Pi 9, and when they did an update to it, it's pretty much just screwed up everything with the Sony eARC issue. And pretty much the eARC issue is pretty much specifically for the issue that I was running into was the internal apps. For some apparent reason, when I was switching from my internal apps, like for instance Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Voodoo, just to name a few, and then switching back to my external app, let's just say the Apple 4K TV or my Xbox or my PlayStation, and then switching it back to the internal apps, I was going into some real stuttering issues, and the voices sounded weird. It was what you saw in the previous clip. You see that it was some stuttering in the video. You can see that the voices were totally not in sync with the actual movie or show what I was watching, or the voice sound like terrible. So the only way for me to fix it, if I did a hard restart, and from there it would fix the issue momentarily. But then if I switched back and forth from the internal to external app, I was running into the same issue again. So I contacted Sony to let them know exactly what the issue was, what I was running into. I sent them video proof showing that I was running into this eARC issue. I went to ABS forums to see if other people were having the same issue, and everyone was having the same issue, but I didn't see a video or a YouTube video that talked about anything about eARC issue. So what I did was I went ahead and posted a video, uploaded a video on YouTube, and it seemed like a lot of other people were having the same exact issue. So I'm glad that I wasn't the only one, but at the same time too, I knew that Sony had to fix this. So that was one of the ways that I had to do it. I want to appreciate you guys for commenting and liking the video and trying to troubleshoot this while when I had this video uploaded and stuff. But it took Sony close to a year to come out with a firmware update. So I have a Sony A9F, just to give you the heads up, my background. Before the firmware update that messed up my Sony eARC issue, I had no issues whatsoever. Everything was great. No problems with switching from internal to external app, whatever the case. But when the firmware came out, it just messed up my whole TV. I was like pissed. I wanted to take the TV back. I was going to go ahead and see if I could get a technician to fix it or something, but it was just nothing I could do at that time. So I went ahead and just kept using my Apple 4K TV. Now Sony came out with a firmware update earlier this week. I went ahead and downloaded it on my TV. I did a whole bunch of tests on it. I've been switching back and forth from internal to external app. From my PlayStation to the internal app, from my Xbox, from my internal app, from my Apple 4K to my internal app, and it seems to be fixed. So let's go ahead and go through this, show you guys where to get the firmware, how to update your TV to make sure it fixes this Sony eARC issue. So right now, what you guys see is the Sony A9F screen right here. And right here, if you look at it, it's the firmware. I'll just make sure I got this right. So it's the firmware 6.4960. Now, the crazy part is that it's not just only for the A9F. If I go ahead and switch to the A9G right here, the A9G also has the same firmware update. Same thing for the A8H. That's the TV that just came out this year. It got the same firmware. And then also too, the X950H, and this for the LCD TVs. Usually I was just focusing on OLED, but I found that LCD TVs, people who are on Sony LCD TVs were running into the same issue. And funny thing, they also have a firmware update 6.4960. So it's all the same firmware update, which is kind of crazy, and it's kind of crazy, but it's kind of good at the same time too. So this is the latest firmware update. So let me go ahead and switch back to the A9F and show you guys what the actual fix is. Let me go ahead and go into the actual firmware update. Hopefully you guys can kind of see this as I scroll through it. So pretty much it just goes into the crazy part. It doesn't really talk about the actual detail what it actually fixed on here. But if you do a drop down box, you can see exactly what TVs this firmware is for. So you can see that it's pretty much every single Sony lineup except for the 900 series, because I see that they have a different firmware than the rest of the TVs. So just to give you a heads up, if you have a 900, I don't know if this is the potential fix for you guys, but besides that, for Sony OLED TVs, yeah, this fixed pretty much everything with the issue. So if you go straight down to here, it doesn't say specifically what was the fix. It just says benefits improves general performance of the TV. So it's funny that Sony doesn't go into detail of what it fixed, but yeah. So you go on this website, you can download this file right here. So how to pretty much download this is if you have a USB thumb drive, download this firmware update. You could download it right here. Once you download this, make sure you guys extract the file once you download it. Once you download it and extract the file, put it onto your thumb drive, and the only thing you need to do is just plug it up to your TV. If you don't want to go ahead and do all of that, then you have the option for to go into the TV and select the update, and you could update it that way as well too, and it will show what firmware is updating. So now I'm about to go ahead and switch to another video showing the latest firmware update on my TV, and then show you what it actually fixed. Okay. Alright guys, so I went ahead and switched it up to my actual Sony A9F. So what I did right here is I just pressed the help on my Sony remote, and at the bottom left you'll see the actual firmware update on this Sony TV. So if you want to know if you have the latest firmware update, just look at just press the help button on your Sony remote, and then at the very bottom left you'll see if you have the latest firmware update or not. Now what I'm about to go ahead and do is switch it back to the actual audio and show you guys what it fixed.
The universal scales tip toward balance because of your sacrifice. Tip toward balance because of your sacrifice. Smile. Tip toward balance because of your sacrifice. Then you have been. Toward balance because of your sacrifice. Smile.
Edward Coventry. She inducted the wolves she betrayed him with. And she destroyed the Vati Maycom. How can you vote for her? The way I see it, She inducted the wool she betrayed him with. And she destroyed the Fatty Maycomb. How can you vote for her?
So what do you guys think of the latest firmware update from Sony? Did it fix your TV or not? Leave a comment below if you have any questions in regards to this latest firmware update. Once again, I want to say thank you guys. Thank you everyone for subscribing to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. And just thank you for everything. But if you like this video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and set on notification for the next video. And without further ado, I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully you have a good one. Take care.